Hello, and welcome to the Daydream Believing podcast, where every episode is like a night out with friends. Hi, and welcome to episode 62 of the Daydream Believing podcast. I am your hostess with the mostest, Michelle Atwood, and thank you so much for joining me again this week. Now, as you can see, we have a little bit different of a situation going on this week because the episode with the besties like 4 weeks ago did so well. Let's do it again. So please help me welcome Paula and Michelle. Yay!
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you guys so much for joining me again. I'm hoping that we can make this a regular thing, like once a month, if I can like get you guys on board, because this has been like, it's great having you. And I'm not talking to myself. So that's another
I'm on board
here.
Okay, so happy October, everyone. And today, just a little tidbit of information. Today is the anniversary of Magic Kingdom and Epcot. So they are both celebrating a birthday today. So I'm just going to ask you really quick before we start talking. Magic Kingdom, Epcot. Which one do you like better and why? Paula, go.
Magic Kingdom.
Okay, why?
Castle, Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, the vibe, the parades, all of it.
Okay, what about you, Michelle?
Oh my gosh, Magic Kingdom, because that was my first and ever at 40 years old, seeing the castle and, you know, with the meetups and everything. I just absolutely fell in love, and I love Epcot too, but it just has my heart a little bit more.
Epcot has like a different thing going on over there because of you know, it's got the countries and the different food and the drinks that that we don't have over at Magic Kingdom. I mean, we've had a couple meetups at Epcot, and they've been a good time.
Yes, they were.
But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about that for a second because everybody has a different experience as far as like their first trips to Disney and things that they remember. And, you know, I remember going when I was 6 with my, you know, being on my dad's shoulders. And I don't remember a ton about it, but I remember that castle. And it became an obsession. When I was a kid, I was like castle, you know, and I couldn't wait to go back. But I know some people love Epcot. Then there's the studios. We're not talking about that, or Animal Kingdom, because it's not their birthday. But yeah, it's like one of those things that I couldn't wait. I'm such a tour guide, as you guys know, and especially for you, Michelle, because like we talked about the last time that you were both on with me a few weeks back about you know, everybody having their first trip and their first experience, and how somebody like I've always wanted to see it through somebody else's eyes. And that's what Paula and I kind of got to do with you, because Paula and I went years and years and years ago. And yeah, it was a long time ago. we won't say how long ago, but
I definitely have. I will tell you, I'm the best tour guide, I should say, ever. But you know, of course, like when I talked about bringing Frank for his 50th.
Yeah.
You know, and again, you and Scott just went right into action, and even the boys did. So, you know, just very gracious to you both. And
we love doing that.
I
know? It's a good time. And I think, Paula, correct me if I'm wrong, but yes, we were youngins, but when we went, I'm pretty sure I was kind of that way with you too. Like, oh my God, we got to go here, and we got to go see the mansion, and we got it. So I can't say for sure, but I feel like I did that with you a little bit.
You did. And it was very much appreciated. I had been twice before, when I was a freshman in high school, and then I went with the marching band, and I got to march in the park, and
oh my God,
fun. But I hadn't been there since. And then when we went, you immediately went into tour guide mode.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, you know.
All right.
Okay, well, so you know what? Like, that's enough Disney, because We have another podcast Monday nights.
We can talk about that another time.
Look at her.
Sorry. It's right here.
Yeah, my little
No
ears.
mouse ears. None.
No mouse ears.
No mouse ears.
As I'm sitting here in my hocus pocus garb because it's October 1st, but okay, so I have like a whole little thing for us to talk about, and I'm gonna warn the viewers slash listeners that if you know us a little bit, things kind of roll their own way, little, here or there, whatever, but we'll try to reel it back in, but no promises. No promises.
I have a quick question for you before you get started.
What's that?
What was, from episode 60, what was the nice random act of kindness that you did?
Oh, you listened. Thank you.
Of course I listened.
Well, nobody got back to me if they did something kind. Maybe they didn't. But okay, it's something really simple. I put stuff back on the shelves at the Hobby Lobby that people had knocked down. Like every time I made an effort because I know I worked in retail when I was a kid, and I know what it's like to have to clean up everybody else's crap because people don't care. So we were in there last week, and I made a conscious effort. If I saw something on the ground, I put it back where it belonged.
Well, that was nice of you.
And I was trying to help out those poor employees because I know what it's like. And Michelle, you know what it's like when you work in retail and you want to go home at the end of the night. You are done, but you have to get, you have to clean up and all that. And I hated that part. And people are so not courteous when it comes to those things. So yeah, I sort of kind of cleaned up Hobby Lobby.
I have one.
I love it.
Okay, what's that?
So I typically take a walk I try every morning, but every other day, whatever. And I was walking and I seen this elderly lady, and they just picked up the garbage, but still it could take one little step to fall, or not to say that she would. I'm not trying to say she was fragile. So I was just walking and I'm like, hi, how are you? She's like, great, how are you? I'm like, do you want me to take that back for you? And she's like, and she like jaw kind of dropped, and I'm like, I can help you. She's like, oh, no, I'm good. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe because she was shocked because maybe nobody has done that for her. But again, I'm not saying that something would have happened, but just that simple act of kindness can go such a long way, because I don't know if she's alone. Right. I don't know if her, if she's has family or whatsoever. So I was just at the right place at the right time, so I had to. It wasn't something like, oh, look at me, I'm great. It's just natural.
I'm great.
I'm great. Look at me.
I was dancing around the Hobby Lobby like that. Look at me.
No, I can't.
I'm
paying attention.
Yeah. I got my free pass, right? Yeah, I'm going up there, right?
I cleaned up the Grinch aisle for you, so you don't have to do it.
But no, like I do recall like listening to that and just do one act of kindness. So when Paula brought that up, I'm so glad you did, Paula, because
just
that's
a little bit, you guys and what does that say? Sidebar, what does that say? That this lovely lady that you helped out, like she was surprised that somebody did that for her. And I think that speaks volumes, because these days a lot of people have gotten away from doing something nice for somebody else and not wanting anything in return, not wanting praise, but just because you feel like doing something kind. And it's not about the reward or whatever. It's almost like it makes you feel good inside, and it sets your tone for the day too, because like, you always feel better doing something nice for somebody. I mean, always.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And you, Paula, you're a nurse. You do nice stuff for somebody every stinking day.
That doesn't count. Well, going back to what Michelle said, as a person that has an elderly mother who is handicapped with her drop foot and is sassy and doesn't do the things she's supposed to do and likes to fall, I digress. But it was very nice of you to do that. That's very meaningful. I don't think we help out our elderly nearly enough, but I I was in the drive-thru at McDonald's, which I don't typically eat fast food, but they have whatever it is about McDonald's Coke Zero. I don't know if
McDonald's has the best Coke.
they put crack in it. I don't know what they do. It's not the same anywhere. Chick-fil-A's not the same from the bottle. Not the same.
Bottle, forget it.
McDonald's. So whenever I go through McDonald's drive-thru, you have the option of rounding up for a Ronald McDonald House. So my $1.68 Coke Zero, I always round up to $2, but that's whatever. There was a Woodhaven police officer behind me. And so when I came around, he came around out of the other drive-thru because, you got to have 2 drive-thrus now. So I pulled up and I told the girl, I said, I want to round up for Ronald McDonald House. And she's like, oh, okay. And I said, hey, the police officer that's behind me, I said, I want to buy his food too. And she's like, are you sure? And then I thought, oh God, how much did he spend? Did he just buy dinner for the whole barracks? Like,
yeah, he bought a burger for everybody.
Crap. And she's like, well, his bill's almost $20. And I'm like, oh, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So I go round up on that too. And she's like, are you sure? I said, yes, I'm sure. And she goes, well, that's so nice. I'm like, hey, random acts of kindness. I said, one of my best friends inspired me to do this today, so you can thank her.
I love that.
I pulled up. So he's behind me still. So he pulls up to the window. And of course, they hand me my Coke really quick. And so I'm grabbing my Coke. And then I looked up in my rearview mirror. My window was still down. And I went forward and he was going forward. And he flashed the lights and then got on the loudspeaker on the car. And he said, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I just thought, out of everything that police officers do for us on a daily basis, that is such a small little thing to do for them. And anytime that I see a cop in the drive-thru, I'm going to do that. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to, because they, especially with how crazy the world is, they put their lives on the line every day. So just a little appreciation for them.
I love these stories, you guys.
Oh, spread love, not hate, love.
Right? I think we really need more of that. So thank you for that. I mean, really, here I'm cleaning up the Hobby Lobby last week, and I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if anybody else did anything. but I'm still cleaning the store. I'm still gonna clean the store. I mean, it's just little things. And I know I did something else last week, but right now I can't remember. But I do remember Hobby Lobby. So.
But you know what you did,
thing
Michelle?
I wanted to tell you is we never got a chance to go to Bongos. However, I'm glad you finally had a mojito because I've been telling you how amazing they are. And B, you better take us to this sunset. What is it? Sunset
Walk. Yeah, promenade at Sunset Walk.
You've been holding out on us and going to Estefan's, and we can eat and dance and have fun.
I'm just floored, like you did your homework, but yes. And I just found out that they do a DJ on Saturday nights, from 10 to 1 or something like that. But they have live music. But when they told me
time,
they were like, they were telling me at this media event. Now I hadn't been there, and it's been open a couple of years. But then she's like, oh, and we have a DJ on Saturday night, and I was like,
tell me.
Did you say DJ? Did you say DJ?
Boop, boop, boop. Radar.
Yeah. So definitely on the list, we should totally check that out. But okay, let's get back to today's show.
Refocus.
Okay. So every week I like to talk about something interesting, funny, silly, whatever people are talking about on the internets. So this week, now let me preface this for people that are watching and listening. The girls and I send each other reels and silliness daily. And it's we don't even say hi sometimes. We're just send.
We're just send.
Just send. Because it's self-explanatory. Sometimes you have to be okay, watch this guy, or you know what I mean? But Most of the time it's like, here you go. And so this week I sent Michelle and Paula this video that was going around. And for those that don't know who Sheriff Grady Judd is of Polk County, Florida, he is kind of like this internet sensation for police officers because of the press conferences that he holds. He's funny. Now, I don't know how much he's trying to be funny or if it's just that old-fashioned way of speaking. But so this week, the sheriff is giving this press conference, right? And he holds up pictures of people. And it was about, I can't say really what it was about. It's in what did they say? The world's oldest profession. Is that what they call it?
We'll leave it at that. Yeah.
About that. And he put something up of what you think you got a date with, and in the morning what you really got a date with. Okay. So he's talking. And there's
so in other words, hold on. So in other words, he's been on Match.com or
the way he put it is you called for a date. We're gonna leave it. You called for a date. And so he's talking about this situation, and there is this officer in the back, and he's like this for the press conference, and then he's like, and then he's doing like
he was trying so hard.
The man is holding on for dear life not to bust. I mean, and he just was, you could just see like he wanted this conference to be over because he's gonna lose it. And as soon as it was over, he probably just he needed a minute, right? And I was thinking about myself because as you guys know, if I get the giggles, it's over. And if I were back there, first of all, I probably would have been biting the inside of my mouth, and then the tears would have started falling, and then I would have started snorting, and I had to plug my nose, and I would, and I'd lose it. I'd be fired. They'd be like, "You're never coming back. You will not be."
You have a terrible poker face. There is no way you would have been able to pull that off. Perna, she could have. She can be like me. I'm kind of in the middle. It depends on what the subject.
You could easily, Paula, easily.
Well, I do it on a daily basis at work. There's that. However,
you're a professional.
I think you guys could have got away with that better than me. I don't think like ever. And the bad part is like with me, this is not anything new. I've been this way since I was a kid. So I am that person that if something is not supposed to be funny, don't sit by me. Just don't sit by me because it's gonna be funny. And I get that from my father, who my dad is the worst person to sit next to, whether it be church, a funeral, like an award ceremony, anything. You don't sit next to my father because poof, and the giggle starts, or he'd make a joke. And my mother used to kick us out of church weekly because when I was a kid, because like my dad would make a joke, or like one time, sidebar, one time we were in church. And there was this, and we went to Catholic church, and I grew up Catholic. And this, how you have to stand up, sit down, all that. Every time this man in front of us stood up, he ripped one. I mean, and it was the loudest toot, like, and every time. And I'm praying, like, please don't make us get up and sit down again. Like, please.
No.
And when it happened, it was like, rip. And my dad and I are like, my mother looks at us and she goes, "You out." She sent us back to the quiet room where the babies sit.
You got in trouble.
Terrible. But I'm just saying, see, look at here I go. That's why I can't be that person. Like, I can never, ever be that person.
Okay, listen, I think if all three of us were sitting there and that was happening, she'd kick all three of us out because we would not be able to contain it.
And
There's
the worst
no way.
part, my brother looks up, he goes, "What's so funny?" And I'm like, and then the three of us started. And she kicked her whole family out of church. I mean, that was the end of that. But it's like one of those things, and that's just one instance of many. But yeah, so I give that guy credit because he held it in. And because of this man's face, it's everywhere. Now, it's funny what the sheriff said, but it's the guy in the back that is holding on, trying everything under the sun to not bust.
Yep.
And I give this man credit because I couldn't do it. I mean, I couldn't do it. And so I'm curious, you could, Michelle. What?
Well, oh no, I don't want to interrupt you. I just
No,
have
go ahead.
No, so okay, I'm gonna call my husband out. Not really call him out in a bad way.
Oh boy.
But I'm gonna tell a story about my mother-in-law. Love you, mother-in-law. So my husband is then family is full-blown Sicilian. I'm Italian, so big Italian family. So my mother-in-law had cataract surgery. So she's sitting at the table and she's just, talking very heavy accent. And I'm listening to her and she's telling, and all of a sudden when she gets ready to say cataracts, she says carrot. And I'm like, and so I was like, oh, because she can't pronounce cataract.
It was a carrot.
So she's like, oh yeah, the carrot. And I'm just like, oh my God. So, and I'm good because I'm so used to the broken, language because with my family and just being around it for 52
Ever?
Yes. So all of a sudden she says it again. And across the table, her own son, aka my husband, is like, carrots, don't you know cataracts? And I never felt so much pain to try to hold the laughter in because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. And Frank said that my facial expression, my face was so red because I'm trying not to laugh. But luckily she said something that was funny. So I was able to get it out. Don't you ever. I'm like, you are so bad.
So then you can relate to the police officer a little bit. That's hard.
Exactly what I had to do because I'm not like across, I'm sitting right next to her. So, and she's like this, and I'm like, she's going to look at any minute and see me laugh. And I don't want to hurt her feelings, even though she's good with it. But
yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh. But of course, her son.
Oh, Frank.
Cataracts? I'm like, stop.
It's one of those things that it's always like when you're not supposed to. But I want to continue on with, okay, so I have a segue to this because you guys saw it. And the way that this sheriff talks, he has a very old-fashioned lingo, language, whatever that he uses. And he uses things that, phrases, words, whatever, that maybe we don't hear as often or do we. So I'm just going to tell you what he said, because it's something that my mother has always said. And when he said it, I was like, oh my God. So he was talking about the dates and like, he said something, well, this and that. And he goes, well, I guess any port in a storm. And my mother, any port in a storm. And I'm like, oh my God, like I know that phrase because my mom would use it. And then I was reading the comments because I love to read comments. And he said, what he said, everybody was like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. I haven't heard these words in years, blah, blah, blah. So I thought it would be kind of funny to, if there's any phrases, words, whatever, that maybe you heard from your grandparents or from a parent, or stuff that maybe it's a forgotten thing, because I had forgotten about that one. But I know in my own family, like I'll start. So so my friend Sean, he hadn't heard this one. And I sometimes when I speak, my parents fly out.
They come through.
And I was talking about something and I'm like, yeah, I go, he doesn't have a pot to piss in. And Sean looked at me and he goes, oh, what? And I just was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I just don't even know where that came from. But it was a pot to piss in. And then my dad, like when I was a kid and I'd be like, oh, I want a new car, or I want this. And he'd be like, Michelle, you couldn't finance a sandwich. So
I can see Dad saying that, like, so
finance a
serious.
sandwich. So is there any that like would strike a chord with you guys?
Oh yeah.
Okay, go. Somebody else go.
Go,
All right.
Paula.
So one of the things that my mom used to say, like when I was younger, and I wanted to do something, I'd whine about it because she would say no. And I was like, well, why? I want Diana's going. Why can't I? And it was really because she didn't like Chrissy Patton down the street. And,
Don't
Chrissy
give last
Patton-
names.
She doesn't listen. Anyway.
I'm going to get hate mail from Chrissy Patton.
Sorry, Chrissy.
Sorry, Chrissy. No, she knew. So my mom, I'd sit and whine. Why can't I? And she's like, because your last name's Cunningham and her last name is White. And I'm like, that makes no sense. It makes sense. I know my last name, but that does not answer why. And then of course it was because I said so.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
How do you argue with that? My grandma, she used to say, well, I would call her whenever I'd go visit her, you'd walk in, just, of course, hi, Grandma, how are you? And she'd say, well, I'm on this side of the grass today, so it's a good day.
I mean, she had a point.
I don't blame her.
Okay, Grandma, you got it.
But there's something endearing about these old things, and it's like it makes you laugh to look back at it. And I kind of love that these phrases are coming back. What do you got, Michelle? You got anything?
Oh yeah. So my mom used to say this. The first time I heard it, it was like, "What the Sam Hill?" And I'm like, "The Sam Hill." So I'm like, okay. And she would say it weekly because obviously I was, probably making her mad or doing something bad or just in general, But all of a sudden I heard somebody else say that. I'm like, that's a saying. I'm like, oh my gosh. So in PG form, it means like, what the?
Yeah.
Double high.
It's a nice way of saying swear words.
Yes.
But okay. So that's odd. Like, okay, is the person's name Sam Hill? Is there a hill named Sam? I mean, where does it
Of course I did my research. So and actually, maybe I didn't look too much into it, but it's just, again, the same for the opposite. But I don't know like exactly where it stems from. I have to look a little bit further and I'll get that. So because I had very little time. But when my mom said it, I'm like, does she just like, sometimes you just make words up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she made this up. And then all of a sudden I heard it. I was like, I almost fell because, being little or younger, I'm just like, that's not even a word. Or
you're like, that doesn't make any sense. So.
And it actually is. If you look it up, Sam Hill, it's a saying.
It's a thing.
It was your mom's neighbor. Is all.
It was totally the neighbor. You didn't know that. It was the neighbor. Hey, I've got one that both of you can relate to. You ready?
Yep.
For the love of Pete.
I was just gonna say that.
Who's Pete?
Who's Pete? Okay. So I'm let me tell everybody, we are Midwestern girls, and Midwest has our own language. Like, seriously. So wait a minute. We're going to sidebar that for just a second because I read something the other day. I follow this page and it's called like Midwest versus everybody or something like that. It's a Midwestern page. And it it was like, God, I wish I could remember because I saved some of it, but
Is
it was
that guy that's like he's talking to himself, but he's dressed different, and he's like, "How do you pronounce this word?"
different. I love that guy.
Mhm.
Yes,
The tall blonde guy that'll be like, say this.
say this.
Ander.
And it's
Yeah.
because apparently we have an accent, which I did not know. But it was kind of like, oh my gosh. For the love of Pete was one of the things that you say, or one of the things was like if you're a Midwesterner, like try not to save napkins in your car, or try not to, do all these little things that Midwesterners do, and different things that we say. Like instead of saying oops, we say oh, like
Whoop.
sorry, oh sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Just little things like that.
I
But
just put napkins in my car the other day.
so I
I
didn't
steal
know.
napkins from Starbucks all the time.
Yes, because you don't know when you're gonna need a napkin. I mean,
Exactly.
anytime I go somewhere, here's me, boop, 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 and I'm taking
Always.
extra napkins because I'm putting them in the car. Because what if I need one? Because you just don't know. But
You never know.
apparently, that is a Midwestern thing, and I did not know that, according to the Midwestern page. But I will have to. I'm gonna have to find that. We'll have to bookmark this for another conversation. I'll do my research because I'm reading these things and I'm going, oh my god, oh my god, yeah, we do that. Oh my gosh, we say that. We put napkins in the car. I mean, or they're talking about like bringing casseroles to the potluck and all these different things that apparently Midwesterners do, or somebody God, I can't remember. But apparently we're a special breed that I did not know.
We do, and we make up our own language. Like the one guy we were talking about, he's like, say this word, and it's how we say did you?
Did you?
That
It's
that
supposed
is
to be,
did
you eat? No, it's did
did
you?
you eat?
G?
How is that not normal? And
Or the
people
guy
say that you guys, I can tell you're from the Midwest because of how you talk. What do you mean? We talk normal, but we don't have an accent.
Or he wrote down the word garage, and he went like this, and the guy goes garage, Grage, garage. It's not garage, it's garage.
Yeah. We like condense. We condense words and phrases.
Myers, Ford.
Myers, Walmart.
S's on the end of everything. Why?
Why? When I was a kid, I thought Myers, the grocery store, for those that don't know, I thought it was Myers. And then when I got older, people said Meyer, and I didn't believe it. So I went and I looked on the bag to the store because I didn't believe there was no S for
still
Meyer.
had to catch myself. 52 years old. Yes, 52. And I'm like, Meyer. I did it. I'm like, I really did it. I didn't put the S at the end. I'm like,
it's Myers.
Even Kroger's, Ford's.
Kroger's.
Kroger's. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just so funny how we're just different. But I think it's funny. And I didn't know. And unless you leave the Midwest, you might not even realize all these little quirky things that we say or do. Because it's a joke to other people, which I didn't know.
Well, even though you were born and raised a Midwesterner, I will say that you're losing some Midwest cred, and it's not because of your Ugg boots that you wear in Florida. It is because you have started saying y'all.
Y'all.
The first time I heard you say that, I was like, that's it. We lost her.
So let me ask you. So I'm really probably going to just
ask.
So is it, because I feel, is that something that in Florida, is it y'all? So it real because I don't think I've heard it that much, and it could just be. I mean, from you, I have.
Chuck and
We're
Karen
from the
say it all
Detroit
the time.
area.
But I didn't know if it was something that was just like part of the lingo or like the language, and I don't know. Like I feel like I haven't heard it as much.
Do you want to know why
maybe
that
it's
is?
just kind of over my
You want to
head.
know why that is? Because everybody that I know that you guys know that you've met, we're all from the north.
Oh,
so
true. Yeah,
they
okay.
don't say that. But you have some people down here that it's y'all is just part of the lingo. And that's when I heard
Tucker and Lucretia.
they're
They say it all
Alabama.
the time. But Karen and Chuck say it.
And they're from up north as well.
Yeah.
So
Well, they say when we saw them at Raglan Road, they said, "Did you all have a good trip?"
Oh, see, maybe I didn't even. I
Yes,
probably
yes, we all had a good trip.
and then you should have said, "Did you eat?
Did you eat?
Did you eat?
Did you go to Myers?
Go to Myers? Put it in the garage."
The garage, not the garage.
Is that a Ford's?
Ford.
Put your Fords in the garage. Garage.
Oh my god.
Going off the rails. Does Chuck and Karen watch your show, or do they?
Yes.
Hi, Chuck and Karen.
Hi, FD and MD. Wait, FD and FM.
Yes.
Florida dad and Florida mom.
Father Disney and Mother Disney.
Okay. We're going to reel it back.
Okay.
We're going to be talking for hours.
We love
All right.
them.
So we're going to switch gears again.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw this commercial today.
Oh.
And I didn't know whether I should be offended or thought, okay, that's funny, or want to like use my fingers a certain way. Getting all twitchy.
What do you mean?
Okay, so it was a freaking Neutrogena commercial, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize what it was because, all right, it had Donna and David from 90210 on it. And I don't remember what the scene was, if he was asking him to marry her. I don't think it was when they were in high school. But then this woman comes on and she's like, if you know who this is, it's time for your wrinkle cream. And then she's talking about retinol. And I'm like, what? I mean, like what? I guess the marketing works because I'm talking about it, right?
I am deeply, deeply offended.
So when I was in high school, I loved 90210. I mean, I watched it all the time. And then like, I mean, what is she going to go for Melrose Place next? Desperate Housewives? I mean, what's on the table here, lady? Because, but I was, so here's the thing. I was a kid when that stuff was out. And to me, it doesn't feel that long ago. But then when you got some woman being like, you need your wrinkle cream, it's like, really? And I don't know.
Now I understand
offensive
gestures you wanted to
like,
make.
Whoa, I didn't know how to feel about that. What do you guys think?
Well, I'll tell you how I feel. I just went to the dermatologist today. And I had, if you see right here, this was a clogged pore that had to get squeezed out. Okay. And she told me I needed to use retinol. Okay? And not only this, there's 3 other ones. Thank God they were not as deep, but this one was not ready to come out. So yeah. So hello.
Retinol.
It's happening.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You got to use some retinol, like scrub, to make, because what it is, it's just like clogged pores.
We are very well aware.
It's so funny that you brought that up and this happened today.
Yeah, no kidding. What, Paula?
We're very well aware of the fact that
we're not children anymore.
That we're getting up there in age and we're starting to show our maturity on our face. But damn it, you don't need to remind us. And I got 2 words for her. Not those.
It's a family show.
Botox injections. That's it.
We don't need your Neutrogena.
Who needs your Neutrogena when you can shove a bunch of
crap in your face? So here's the thing.
And then your face doesn't move and you're perfectly fine. We don't need your Neutrogena. Next up.
Right. And then I was thinking about like
I can't frown for a reason.
And it wasn't Neutrogena.
It was not Neutrogena. It was a really good deal that I found on Facebook.
So here's the thing. Like, I remember watching Saved by the Bell. I mean, like, you know, I used to watch it with my brother.
Yes.
And they could have taken a cheap shot with that too, but I didn't realize because okay, follow me.
Following.
Like, I don't want to call it a time warp, or maybe it is denial. We can call it denial. But like in my mind, like things, and we talked about this, you know, last time you guys were on, about how yes, time goes by fast, but somehow in our brains it doesn't, because like we still view things the same kind of as we used to, or things don't feel as long ago, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So it was like last year or something, and I'm scrolling, boop, boop, boop. And what's her toes? Tiffany Thiessen, who was Kelly Kapowski, she pops up. And she was celebrating like 50 or 51.
What?
Yeah. And I'm like, what?
That's not
like,
even...
And I'm like, she's older than I am, which made me feel better because she looks good. So I went, cast of Saved by the Bell. Lo and behold, man, they're all in their 50s. And in my head, they're still like walking around the halls and doing their whatever, you know? So I guess the same could be said for like David and Donna and 90210. Like, you know, it's almost a gut punch when you see it put out like that. And I guess it's creative marketing because here we are talking about it.
There
but
you go.
I would, okay, so sidebar again. I use that crap on my face, the retinol. And you guys know this, but I'm doing a public service announcement because I used the retinol under my eyes last year because, yeah, aging. And it burnt my skin so badly that I can't use cheap stuff anymore. I have to use the stuff from Ulta because any less expensive stuff I put on my face now burns like a fire. So that stuff ruined my face. So,
well, and here's a public service announcement for everybody that's watching / listening is if you haven't downloaded the Yucca app, it's YUKA. I know that I'm pretty sure I told you about it. It's a carrot. The little screen thingy is a carrot.
Or a cataract.
It's a cataract. When you go in the grocery store, Ulta, it doesn't matter where. And you're going to become obsessed with this. I blame Bobby because Bobby's the one that told me about it when I was in Minnesota back in November. You can scan barcodes and it brings up ratings of the ingredients on how bad they are and how good they are. Can I just tell you that I have completely changed my whole entire repertoire of hair care. Well, that's not true because I still use Aveda, even though L'Oreal bought Aveda out and their products aren't the same, but still. Anyway.
Oh, really?
Body wash. Yeah.
Body
wash. I switched to Native because Native is scanned at like an 80% or a grade A-. Like, but the face stuff, you guys, Neutrogena, their stuff is awful. Awful. Really? And it tells you why. Like if you scan something and then you scroll up a little bit, it gives you the profile of all the ingredients in there. But it also, towards the end of that, tells you what are better recommendations. And my neighbor, Kim, she uses this stuff called Good Molecules. And so I bought some of their stuff, and their stuff is It's wonderful. When you look at the ingredient list, it is literally niacinamide, and that's it. It's got a little bit of buffers in it to make sure that it's like a gel or a lotion or whatever. But it doesn't have mineral oil. It doesn't have all the crappy chemicals, petrolatum, mineral oil. If you see anything that says petrolatum, anything, you might as well go out to your car, dip your hand in your oil or your gas tank, and just rub it on your face, because that's what you're doing. Okay.
Okay.
Another product, and I got this at Target, and it's scanned really, really, really well. It's called Bioma, Byoma.
Oh, I've heard of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I used to use that Boots #7. I've bought all the Clinique. Clinique is terrible for you.
We're getting a lesson here. Oh my God.
Yes. So get the Yucca app. They can pay me if they ever see this. Thank you.
Not a sponsor yet.
It's YUKA. And when you find it, it's a little carrot. And download that and start scanning. And I'm telling you, your half-hour grocery trip or your half-hour trip to CVS is going to turn into 3 hours, because you're going to scan everything and it's going to drive you crazy. But I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. And my skin, the difference between what I was using and what I'm using now,
Yeah.
I can tell you honest to God, before the Botox, because, whatever. My texture of my skin feels better. It's like more moisturized, more plump, more just, I don't know. It's nice and smooth, and it feels totally different. So download that and don't use Neutrogena. That's my public service announcement. Sorry, Donna and David. There you go.
Yeah, forget your commercial. Exactly. Like, So before we switch gears,
Yes.
I was at the esthetician's office. That's what you call it, right? For your face. What are they called?
Esthetician.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so I was getting a facial done. This was a couple of years ago. And, because I talk to everybody and I'm very inquisitive and I don't know how to shut off reporter mode. So I have to ask questions. And so and I'm like, hey, I said, I'm like moving her hand. I'm like, by the way, because the lotions that she was using felt so nice and my skin felt rehydrated and all this. And I'm asking her, I said, any of this stuff that you buy, like Ulta or whatever, I said, does any of that stuff really, really work? She goes, if it did, we would not be in business. And I never forgot that, because it was a Botox office and they did like the Juvederm and the lip stuff and the fillers and all that. And she said, because of, people just want to hold on to their youth. They want to look their best. And when you see a commercial that shames you, by the way, and you're like, well, shoot, I need to go and get me some retinol.
Gosh darn.
But yeah, so she was saying that, like you said, Paula, like the one surefire way to get rid of your wrinkles is Botox. So yeah, and she's not wrong.
Well, you're probably not the only one that felt, like a dig. Like, why are you calling only us out? Because that's probably what they did prior, to.
Maybe I'm just sensitive. I don't know.
And of course they use 90210 because that's our
age group.
That's our age
everything.
So they're trying. I mean, they're good with let's be honest. Not to say that it's going to be received the way that they think it is, because we're not on that page. Oh no, that was the opposite for us. Like, hey, listen, we may be that age, but it's, you could have done it a little bit better. But at the same time, they probably thought like, oh,
this is great.
We're going to capture this audience now. And they're going to know that, wow, that's my age. Let me run out right now and get that. And hopefully it doesn't burn my eyes now that Michelle said something.
Literally, I had to go to Ulta and talk to one of their people, and I walk in there and I'm like, my face is burning. I'm like, don't touch it. And it was red.
Oh my
I walked in
God.
there and I'm like this, and she's like, sit in a chair, let me help you. And I'm like,
let me put some new skin on you. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got you, girl.
she introduced me to
God.
Strivectin. They have, you ever see those? It's a like a, I don't know if it's a serum, but you pump it and it's half serum, half lotion, and it comes out of like twice there. I'll tell you what, Strivectin, not a sponsor, has saved my under eyes, but as much as they make it feel better, it doesn't take it away, and that's what Botox is for. So anyway.
And there's other products out there too. Like I went down the whole Instagram rabbit hole. I don't have TikTok. I haven't bitten that carrot yet. Cataract. But I saw this video with that Peter Thomas Roth, and I thought,
I have it.
I need to see it for myself. Like I just, okay. I don't always believe everything I see. I got to see it for myself. So I was at Sephora and they had Peter Thomas Roth stuff. And I was standing there and I got that Glossier You perfume. Love it. So I turned my head and I'm like, oh, I saw that on Instagram. So they had little testers out. So I put a little dabby on my fingers. Now, I typically don't get baggy eyes, but for whatever reason, I have baggy eyes. So I put a little bit on and I tap. No, sorry. I did tap just on this eye. And then I sat there and I'm staring at myself in the mirror going,
waiting for it.
You gotta, I was gonna say, you gotta fan it.
It's gotta be dry.
holy macaroni. It's like,
Macaroon.
if you would split my face, you were looking at two different eyes. That crap really works.
It does. I mean, it doesn't last forever.
No.
But I only think it makes my skin feel dry. That's the only thing.
Well, but it gets you through. Well, yeah, it kind of leaves like a little film, but you can feel it. You can feel it like kind of pulls and tightens a little bit. And you put like your powder or whatever over it. And I was like, well, if you're going to an event or, something that's just a few hours, I approve.
Absolutely.
Listen, my mom used Dial and washed her face, and she had the best skin.
Pond's cold cream. Grandma. She slathered that stuff on her face like it was going out of style.
My grandma had oil Olay.
And you look how good Grandma looked. She was 93 years old when she died.
Oh yeah.
Granted, when she got up there, she looked her age.
My mom used
and her skin was amazing.
Everybody thought she was in like her at least around 80, and I'm hoping that I age like so far we're doing pretty good.
Listen, your Graham, Michelle, I don't know.
Oh, she was
the Italian genetic. I don't know what it was, but there is no way. I still to this day do not believe that she was as old as she was. Yeah. No way.
She had great skin, genes. She was feisty.
My dad's side of the family has like this little bit of like fountain of youth, because my dad still looks really good. My mom does too, but we're talking about dad's side of the family right now. And I was looking at my dad the last time I was home, and his face is like smooth. And I'm looking at him thinking, what procedure did you have done? None. So that gives me hope.
Dad just has the glow of Jesus. That's what gives him his expression look.
He does. But yeah, so I mean there's only so much we can do, but yeah, you know what? Screw you, Neutrogena.
The story. Neutrogena. Okay.
Yeah. We are from Detroit.
That and get the Yucca app. That's what we're taking away from that.
Yes. Look at us trying to be all wholesome and keep our Detroit tucked in for the show.
I
got it down my sleeve. Waiting.
We're trying.
Okay. So speaking, okay, so this is a really great segue because we're going to do one more topic that I thought was interesting. So in the spirit of, I guess, not necessarily self-improvement, but about how we view ourselves and about how other people view us, what is normal, who says what is normal. But so there was a new study that had come out and I read and I wrote it down specifically to talk about. So for years and years and years, they said that the average American woman wears a size 14. Now, this has been the standard for years because, they used to say, oh, Marilyn Monroe wore 14, but sizes were different then, all these things. So apparently the study was redone. And now the average American woman wears a size 16, 18. And I found that really interesting because beauty standards and, you have that line of what's healthy and what's not, what's normal and what's not, and who decides what's normal and all that good stuff. But I just thought it was very interesting that those numbers have moved up. Do you guys have any thoughts about that? Well,
I did do my little research because
what you got?
They did a study around 5,500 women. I have numbers.
Oh my gosh.
And they stated that the average size was 16, 18 for that.
Okay.
So what you're stating is correct, or what you heard was correct.
Yeah.
So generally it's, it used to be 14 was the average size. And then prior to that was like your 12. And I'm sure even your 10s, your 8s and stuff like that. But, it's not that anymore. It's 16, 18. And like for my own personal thing, I don't even really know what size I am anymore because of clothing, the way that they're made. There's so many different aspects of this that it plays a factor into it. So, whether you are just living life and you're just not caring and you're just doing you, and which is fine.
Yeah.
Or you're, on a journey of losing weight and on, whether it's natural or whether it's with help, because sometimes we need that. Or it's also, let's be honest, this is what I learned new. And I'm sorry, to kind of segue into this. When I started my finding a gym and, working out, like I knew as I was over that 50 mark that I needed to do something for my health, to do something to make sure, let's be honest, if I fall, I don't want to break. And so
we don't want you to either.
I know. It could happen even before then, but still, now that we're getting older, things, menopause and all that really plays a factor in your bones and everything else. And, I'm doing what I can, but really working out and strength training is, kind of where I've been researching, and I started to do that. And recognizing that my weight wasn't falling off as much as I thought because, eating right and stuff like that. And not to say it was always 100%, but I really had to take it in stride that, I'm building muscle. So that's why my weight's not falling off the way it was. And it really made me stop being so obsessed about the number on the scale, because I'm doing something, I'm creating something different for my body. Right. So, but still, I did see that number still crawl, because I'm not saying it's just menopause. It's also me.
Right.
On the weekends and going out and, going out to dinner and, with my husband and with friends and, all that stuff. And it plays a big part of it. So yeah, you want to have fun and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I really need to do something. And even realizing that sometimes I may need some help with this. So, and that's the road that I had to take. Things are going well. But I also have to realize, because I am working out, I am lifting weights, and not to be, like She-Ra, but just for my health, like that's what they're stating. That's what we need to do to be more stronger and healthier and stuff like that. That my weight's not going to fall off the way others are going to. So it made me less obsessed. I was able to just take it in stride, and it's okay that I'm not dropping the pounds drastically because my body's doing something different than
Well,
that.
what they say is slow and steady wins the race.
Yes.
And so these generalized sizes. Now, I'm sure that they've, they used a large group to study or whatever. But like the three of us, like we're all at different stages as far as, our body types, how quickly we burn stuff, stamina. Perna has more muscles than me. My arms are like toddler arms. I can't lift anything.
No, stop.
And no, I really have the weakest arms. I have the weakest arms. They're terrible. But, but we can't all, like, as much as we love each other, we're all different. And, like what works for you might not work for me. And and I'm just speaking from my journey. I'm not as far along as far as menopause. I'm just starting. I'm still having my cycles. I'm still doing all of that. I know that's TMI, but it's mostly women that listen. And we all have, we're all at different stages. But I think the general consensus is everybody wants to feel their best. And as you get older, it is harder to lose because we have a nurse on staff right here. And like my body doesn't want to let go of its youth. And I'm to the point now, like, girl, the store is closed. Let's get this over with, because my system is like, we're still 25, she was totally digging the club talk earlier. Like my my system is just kind of like, we are not going to age. But, I'm to the point mentally that I'm like, I want to get all these things rolling because, it's part of life. But I guess my whole point is that, for them to generalize sizes, you still don't know what is going on with that person. Does that make sense? Like everybody's different. Everybody has different things. And like I could wear, let's say I wore a 16 and you guys did too, but we all have different body makeups, different. Like Michelle and I are tall. Paula's a little shorter. You are. And but Michelle and I are very tall. Just to put that out there. That was not a short slam.
No.
But everybody's makeup is different. So what do you think, Nurse Paula, about this new study?
I think that my 5'4" short little self, when I walk with you guys, I'm always yelling, saying, slow down. We were talking earlier about memes, and I had sent you guys that one about you guys like, slow down, I have little or short legs and I'm holding a margarita.
That's about right.
That made me laugh. There was no caption sent with that other than a laughing face. So, but no, going back to the size thing, beauty standards have changed a lot, even through the decades. Like, we've gone through enough time to see like super skinny rail thin was in, and women with a little more meat on their bones was in, and for me, my weight has been a struggle my whole entire life, because I am shorter stature. I'm very short waisted and I have longer legs. And you're
but you're so cute though. Okay, go on.
You're always telling me that you and your mom always joke around that, Paula knows how to dress well for her body, because I literally will go in the dressing room with, arms full of clothes, and I'll walk out with two things because, I honestly, I put the time into it, because if I don't like what I see in the mirror, if I don't feel comfortable, I don't buy it. I don't care what fashion says. I do my own thing, and I always have. But anyway, beauty standards. I think it's sad that whether it's the clothing industry, whether it's frickin' Neutrogena.
I was just gonna say Neutrogena. Anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Or whoever. Why are we always the target, right? Why is it always women that, oh, you need to be this or do that or think this or act like this? And men don't get this, right? And I'm not trying to be like a crazy feminist or whatever, but what I if you are listening to this or watching us, because you get to see our beautiful faces, if you're a teenager, if you are in your 20s, your 30s, or even your 40s, look, I'm 52. I'm much older than our sweet, adorable host over here. I had the honor of meeting her, and I was a little older. She was younger. And I see her talk about and go through struggles that, yeah, I still fight with, but part of me too. I guess one of the good things, and maybe if you're younger and you're listening to this, if it gives you any kind of hope once you get in your 50s, you don't give a flying hootenanny. That's another good
Nanny,
thing.
there's a word.
You don't care anymore.
Hootenanny.
And it's not that I don't care anymore. I care, but now I'm to a point that if I'm a 12 or an 18, if I am healthy, and this is the nurse part of me too. Like, this nursing was a second career for me. So I didn't become a nurse till I was 40 when I graduated nursing school. Like, threw my life upside down and decided to go do this. And it part of me is like, I wish I knew then what I know now. Maybe I wouldn't have gone through the ups and downs of dieting and just like being so hard on myself and looking at myself in the mirror and just thinking, ugh, you're gross, you're ugly. Because these are thoughts that I've had.
Yeah.
And, there's a glorious, wonderful thing once you are out of menopause and you're in your 50s and you don't give a flying hootenanny anymore. And that is, you are cotton picking beautiful regardless of what you look like. Okay. Mm-hmm. What you see in the mirror, a lot of times, and you guys tell me this all the time because I have been so hard on myself, that's not what other people see. And I get it. But for me now, like, when I went through, for me, the weight gain, weight loss, I'm the polar opposite of what a lot of people are. So when I'm happy, when life is coasting along and I'm in love and life is good and, I'm enjoying whatever, I'm thinner. I'm taking better care of myself. And that shows because I don't weigh as much. My skin looks better, whatever. When I am depressed and I've been through some crap, and for me in my life, I've chose some really crappy people to attach myself to as far as men go. Have I been perfect? Nope. However, I will say there is something to be said about narcissism. That's a whole other subject.
Oh, yes, there is. Anyway.
But when you get this condo that I'm sitting in right now, I bought with a person like that. And financially, I was the responsible one. So it was easy to boot him out. But what came after that was a whole lot of self-loathing, which, would I do that now? No. But it was a lot of weight gain because I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't take care of myself. And that is where, and I'll be perfectly honest with you guys, like, I have no shame in this anymore whatsoever. And I'm going to repost this on my own Facebook page. So anybody that watches or see this, you're going to hear this. When I saw the scale hit 200 pounds, I cried like a cotton picking baby because I thought, how could I let somebody else's crap affect me
Yeah.
like that. I was in a size 16. I was that new normal standard. Normal standard. Okay.
Yeah.
What I have to say about that is I feel not only as a medical professional, but as a woman, as a human being, we have a responsibility to take care of ourselves. Okay. We were put on this planet for a purpose. And whatever that purpose is, we have to figure it out. But if you are not living to your potential and you're not able to get up out of the chair and move, and you're not able to go do the things you want to do, how is that living? And that's how I was feeling. My body ached. I felt terrible. I was having migraines all the time. I needed to figure something out. The menopause thing, that did not help. I went the GLP-1 route, okay? I'm paying for it out of my pocket. There's a lot of controversy in the way people feel about this, about these medications. But you know what? If it's good for a diabetic, it's good for me. The beautiful part about it, as a diabetes medication, I don't have diabetes, by the way, thankfully, but my cholesterol numbers were horrible. Absolutely horrible. And that made me very concerned. So I pulled the trigger, and I'm paying for out of pocket. I am blessed enough that my career choice and what I chose to do, that I can pay for this out of pocket.
Yeah.
Not everybody has that luxury, and I get it. I totally get it. But for me, it has helped. It's taken away the body aches. It's taken away the menopause symptoms. They are finding that these meds are helping women. And I use that specifically, women, in so many different ways that it's not just for weight loss. If you deep dive into this stuff, you will see how good it has been for so many other things. And my hope and prayer is that someday it's going to be available to everybody, and that insurance is going to cover it, because I don't want to call it a miracle drug, but it kind of is. And they're working on other ones that are even better. Yeah. But just that, I want people, when you look in the mirror, going back to what you said, Michelle, I want women to be able to look in the mirror and say, I am happy, I'm comfortable, absolutely, because we deserve that. As human beings, we deserve that, especially with all the other crazy crap going on in this world.
Yeah, no kidding.
My nurse brain, where I go with that too, is, are you healthy?
Yeah.
Are you healthy? Marilyn Monroe, when she was a 12 or a 14, she had some meat on her bones. She was so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. She wasn't skinny. She wasn't a little teeny tiny little rail. But as women, we're taught to look at that and think, oh, that's beauty, because we see that walking down a catwalk, for Chanel or for Gucci or for whoever, that should be our normal. That's unattainable. Do you know how miserable those women are? Working out, like you, Miss Perna, eating well, taking care of yourself. If you're a size 12, you're a size 12. I'm down to a 14, and some things I can wear 12. My goal is a 10. At a 10, 150 pounds, I'm still considered obese in that cotton picking BMI chart. You know what I say? That bull crap. But I'm good there, and I'm happy there, and I'm comfortable there, and I feel all of my labs, my numbers, whatever, they are good. All I can say is, looking at a tag in a pair of pants, don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
Don't do that to yourself. I say size 10 only because I know when I'm in a 10, I'm at 150. I feel good and I'm healthy. Do I still have meat on my bones? Yeah. Do I still have a little bit of a belly? Yeah, I do. But you know what? If nobody accepts that about me or loves me because of that, they're not worth it. They are not worth it. So,
No.
all right.
And
So
you know,
done.
like a size, okay, so like 150 pounds on you looks good. But like Michelle or I, if we were 150 pounds, we would look sick.
You would.
We
You would.
look sick.
Because you guys have 5 inches.
I mean, yeah, we're moderately taller, but just a little. But and that's another thing in this study. Like, you know, you're talking, okay, 16, 18, but how tall are you? You know what I mean? Because I've seen people that I have a very skewed view of myself versus other people. And I have this very weird thing that like I'll look at somebody who is bigger than I am. And I'm like, I'm trying to say this without totally trashing myself. But I'll be like, you know, or I'm like, oh, they're not bigger than me, or they look way better than I do, you know, in an outfit like that or whatever. And I am praising that person, even though they're bigger than me. And I'm like, well, you know, and I'm finding fault within myself. And I just think that I have a point, I swear. But like you said, it has to come from within too. Like we have to somehow, and I sound like a big hypocrite because I'm so mean to myself. And we've talked about this. My son tells me, Mom, you're so mean to yourself, because everybody says that what I see is not what is real. And I think that that's for a lot of women, you know, like they look in the mirror and we're like, we find fault. You know, like, oh, look at this, or oh my God, this, or, you know, oh my God, I saw this thing. It was perfect. Somebody had posted like, oh, I look fat from the side. And somebody else made a picture and it said, how you look from the side is not your business. Same with the back, you know, like you look at it from the front and you'd be like, hey, you know, and then sometimes you turn sideways and you're like, oof,
Like, oh,
you know, like, okay, so I look pregnant and I'm not wearing that. And, you know, but the whole point is that, you know, there's different angles, there's whatever, but we're so mean to ourselves. You know, we can be so mean to ourselves. And I'm really trying to not do that to myself.
and
Because
you shouldn't, because you're beautiful.
well, you biased a little bit. You know.
Stop.
You stop.
But you know what, too? Are you done? I don't want to.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So my thing is, if I can say one more thing, because this was an actual lesson learned for myself, is that I started to kind of get listening to people on like just advertisement or influencers or whatever coming on Facebook, sorry. And I realized, like, you know, the minute that I looked up something, let's be real, like this is all behind the scenes. Like they know exactly what they're doing. So if I'm looking up something about weight loss, next thing you know, I see it on my Facebook everywhere, everything. So because they want you to get their product, they want to tell you exactly how, what is done, what is wrong. You need this, you need that. So I mean, again, I'm not a nurse. We got a nurse right here too, but I fell into that rabbit hole and just listening like, oh yeah, I got to do this, I got to do that. None of it worked.
Nope.
None of it worked. I went 5 years on menopause and my weight plummeted over 200 pounds, more than what Paula did. Her weight. And I know I'm 5'9", but that doesn't matter. I was still obese. My BMI was still, again, higher than what it needed. My cholesterol was still not that good because, again, I went to my labs. But I'm sitting here listening to all this stuff going on Facebook, trying to do it, the keto, the this, the that, the da. And guess what? None of it worked. So guess what? After 5 years of being miserable and fighting this, I also went a GLP-1. And guess what it did for me? It eliminated my inflammation. It made me lose 17 pounds up until this day. And again, I'm not looking for big numbers because, again, I am doing other things that is going to slow that down, and I'm okay with it.
But that is I'm going to stop you. That is a big number, and that is something you should be proud of.
No, and I am very proud of it. Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm very proud of it.
35.
Woo!
Since May, and all I've been doing is walking.
Yep.
You would think Cooper would lose weight too, but whatever. And my goal is I want to lose at least another 25.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I tried everything on my own. I got the workout done, down pat. That's not a problem. I'm just not budging. My body is not reacting to. Still, I was gaining, so I had to do something, and I was done because, again, just the bloating, the inflammation, and let me tell you, I'm not saying this for everyone, and I know it's not feasible for everyone either.
Yeah.
But again, I'm very frugal with my money. So it took me a long time. I went and I talked to providers. I went to all these different types of, clinics and talked to them and stuff. So it wasn't just a hop, skip. You're like, yep, I'm just doing it. Yeah. It took me a little bit longer to get myself. I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac, but not, I'm getting better, but just a little bit. But I finally said, okay, I think I kind of went and checked off all my marks of what I needed to do. And I went there, and let me tell you, it's not for everyone. This is not going to be the same results for you, but it was the best thing I could have ever done. It literally helped my menopause. It helped myself to the inflammation. Mm-hmm. And another thing, it's not something I have to stay on forever. I can still maintain this weight loss and not take it. And that's verbally that came from the doctor. Like, this is not something I need to take for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
This is something, once I reach my goal, I know I have the tools to maintain it. So
it's a learning thing too.
It is.
Because, so Paula, don't you think, okay, so we were just talking about all these face products that we see on TV, and they actually don't work. So don't you think the same can be said for all this diet nutrition crap that they push? Like, we were talking about, Michelle, you said something about like Facebook and how your algorithm picks up and all of a sudden it's this. And so like I said, I'm just starting my perimenopause journey, and I started reading about things because I have heard from the two of you how crappy it is. So, and I could feel myself getting more emotional, getting a little more thick in the middle. And, so I started researching, and all these people are like, and it's all over the counter stuff, these like Glee gummies, and there's another one that they say, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it works. But then, like, the stuff that I've actually bought has been a waste of money because it does nothing. Mm-hmm. And that is frustrating. And I think it makes me even more mad. Now I know that it's a business and people are trying to make money. It gives women false hope,
And one of the things that I want you guys and anybody that's out there listening, and I have this conversation with my mom all the time. My mom's 83, for those of you that don't know my mom. She thinks that there's going to be some kind of miracle wrinkle cream that's going to fix her wrinkles. Ain't going to happen. Bless her heart. In the good way. Not in the
there's good bless her heart and bad bless her heart, which we learned in Florida.
Bless your heart. But, one of the worst things I did was show her how to buy stuff online. When she says, oh, I found this on Amazon, I'm like, what? Anyway, there is no magic pill. There is no magic wrinkle cream. Most of the products that we put on our faces, and this is probably too deep, but just think about this. The molecules that are inside of these products and how big your skin pores at a microscopic level. You're slathering all this stuff on your face. It's doing nothing but sitting on your face. Because if you have skin that's like this big, your cells, and you've got, you know, all these other molecules that are this big, it's not going in. It's not happening.
It's just sitting there.
It's just sitting there. That is why, and that's all the buffers and all the other crap that they put in this stuff. This is why the Yucca app helps you. Anyway, as far as diet and exercise and all the things, it changes. So you can sit, and I've even found myself doing this, going down the rabbit hole, and I'm watching these women work out, and they're buff, and they have like 11% body fat, and you can see every muscle that's ripped and all the things. And Michelle, you know this because of the gym you were going to, and Donna. It's like, to be able to look like that, oh God, I can't even imagine being in that headspace of wanting that. And I don't mean that disrespectfully to anybody. For me, because looking at that and then being a nurse and knowing what is going on inside your body to be able to get to that point, to get to like physique show level of fitness, no person should be setting that as their standard. Okay. That shouldn't be a goal for you to look at and say, oh, I need to be that. If you look at that and say, hey, that would be an incredible challenge to do it, to get there, and to say I've done it.
Yeah.
And move on in life. Wonderful. If you want to do that as a goal, to say, I did a physique show, I got my pro card, you know, I did this, beautiful. Knock yourself out. Do it. If that's a goal that you want to see yourself attain, but to be able to live that, it is so much work. It's like a second job, a second and a third job. And if that's not where you are, like most women, we're working, right?
You don't got time for that.
We have kids. We have a house to maintain. We have a marriage to maintain. Even if you're not married, if you're just dating, or if you're looking to date, if you've got elderly parents, because I lost my father. I try and take care of my mom as best as I can, with giving her all the independence in the world, because there's going to come a day that I'm going to have to step in and I'm going to have to do more.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes she feels like I don't care, or I'm not taking good enough care of her. That's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to give her her space to be her before I have to say, Mom, this is what we're doing. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And all the women out there that are in their 20s and 30s and even 40s, you've got your kids, you've got hockey and soccer and baseball and all the things, and you've got a husband, and you've got a house to clean, and you've got homework and a marriage to maintain, and
overwhelming.
Not married, or you're divorced and you still have kids. It's a lot. The best thing I can say is, God, stop comparing yourself to others and just love you for who you are, what you look like, and at the very, very least of all of it, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't like the weight that you're at, then do something about it. Don't beat yourself up. Just say to yourself, you know what? I love carbs. I love sugar. But I'm just to a point in my life now that I look at, am I healthy? Am I in a healthy body that is going to be able to run the race that God put me here for?
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to be able to do that? Am I equipped to do that? That's what I look at now.
Yeah.
I don't have kids. God never blessed me with kids for whatever reason. I have a 4-legged monster. That's okay. But I'm here for my mom. I'm here for my family, and I'm here for my patients. You know? Yeah. That's the race that I'm running. Everybody's race looks different, right? Your race looks different. You have kids. Michelle, you don't have kids. You've got friends.
You point, it's going to the wrong person. Anyway,
I have kids. at when you're here perning your hair, but okay.
I have kids. I guess.
Perna doesn't have kids.
I have a 55-year-old kid.
Stop, Frank. But you know what I mean? It's just, I guess the moral of the story is, you know what, just be kinder to yourself. Stop looking at the models, you know, marching their butt down the runway and thinking that that's how you have to be.
That. Because that's not what it is.
You don't have to be.
No.
You know, I've been chubby my whole entire life, and I've still found people to date me and marry me for that case. But I made really bad choices and got divorced. Oh,
you are so bad.
Listen, my point
is,
you don't have to be a supermodel. And you know what? I'm at the point in my life that if I don't find somebody, if I don't date somebody else, if I don't get married, I don't even care anymore. I'm happy with me. I am fulfilled with my family, my friends, my job, my dog. When I go to Florida, that's where I refuel. Like, just please, Florida needs nurses. Please don't be so hard on yourself. I guess it's my biggest message. What?
Bakers and hairdressers.
And you have a hot governor.
So I
just saying.
I heard something one time and it stuck with me, and it has nothing to do with the governor.
It doesn't. It's not about Ron DeSantis.
It is not. Paula has a thing, but anyway.
Can we talk about Ron DeSantis?
No. Anyway, so I read something one time and it said the models in the magazines don't even look like the models in the magazines.
No, they're
because airbrushing and Photoshop. And don't you think that influencers and Instagram models, which I think is a stupid term, but you know, people that they're selling something that's not real also. Tons of filters, tons of Photoshop. There's apps that, you know, make you skinnier here, bigger there, bigger here, you know, completely can turn you into somebody that you're not.
Yeah.
But that's false advertising also, because like I try to be me all the time because I have a public job. So that if somebody sees me in person, they're not doing a double take. Like, that's not her. You know, no, because I have insecurities too. I've always had a big behind thanks to my Italian heritage. You know, it runs. I've had you too, Perna. We got matching booties.
And I have
but like for me, like my freckles were always a big thing for me.
I love your freckles.
I don't even notice them anymore. But I felt vindicated because everything comes around. Like people have started getting tattoos of freckles on their face. They have freckle pens, you know, and here's me. I'm all stylish and in style, or I'm in, and I was born with this. So, you know, it's like everybody, you know, but I don't even notice them anymore. And if I think about them, then I start to feel self-conscious again, because in the summertime they pop. But then and what Paula was saying, but that makes me, you know, everybody has things about them that you don't have to change yourself because that's part of you. And having freckles and a big smile and squinty eyes and a big behind, you know, that's Michelle Atwood. You know,
I'll tell you. I mean, even though like Italians, either you have like the top and the bottom or one or the other. So mine went south. So I got the south. And you know what? I mean, I was self-conscious about it because it was, I mean, I wouldn't say it was a tabletop, but at the same time, it was, but it was.
It's a shelf butt. Let's just, I got one.
Okay,
it's a shelf.
I need to stop. I need to stop doing so many squats.
Well, not yet. I have, believe me, because I noticed that. But, you know, then I started to see, yes, sometimes, you know, you start seeing things where people have the same kind of figure in that case. And now it's becoming like, oh, you know, they're not insecure. They're like out there showing it and stuff like that. And I was like,
people buy butts now.
I know.
People buy
And that's what I'm
butts
saying. Like,
now.
they pay a
People
lot.
buy boobs. I got
Yeah.
the boobs. I got the boobs. You guys got the butts. We are like the perfect person if you mesh us all
And so
together.
now it's like, you know what? I'm not self-conscious about that anymore. You know, it's what my, you know, it's what I
Your
was given.
genetics make up. You can't help
And
it.
you know, and it is what it is, and you know, I'm not so like hard on myself about that, because I've become acceptance even of myself.
Yep.
I'm not worried about people accepting me because of the way I need to accept myself first. And I've learned to be kinder to myself and give myself grace, and just, you know, working through, like, you know, we always, like I said, just kind of like, oh, you can't eat carbs, you can't eat that. Yeah, you can. Okay, just all the stuff that's put in your head.
Moderation.
Because moderation. And you know what? You can have the bread, but maybe just sourdough and not your, you know, other stuff. It's just like
or a whole loaf.
yeah, just not the whole loaf. Eat half of it. You're still making a difference. And that's when you just have to, yeah, and that's when you just have to realize, no matter if tomorrow you make a drastic change of what you did before, you're making a change for yourself.
Right.
And you know what?
Don't so hard on yourself.
Yeah, don't be hard on it. It's moderation, and it's all about just taking it day by day. It's not fast and furious. It's just taking it slow. The turtle wins the race. Okay, let's be honest. So,
and you know what? There's some things that no matter what we do, we cannot change.
No.
Like Perna, you and I will always have a butt. And yes, I'm throwing you in the mix with me because it is what it is.
It's true.
You know, like there's nothing, I mean, even exercise, whatever. When I was like, I got really sick before I got pregnant with Aiden. I don't know if you guys remember how thin I was. I was like 148 pounds at this height. And I was sickly. And even when I was sick, I still had a butt. It's like it was still there. You know what I mean? And that's like saying I'm going to get rid of my freckles. I can't. So there's one of those things that is like acceptance. Like I'm always going to be this way, and it's not a bad thing. And everybody is different. Like I can't compare myself to you, Paula, being on your feet all day, you know, doing whatever, or Michelle, that you are very serious about workouts. Like for me, if I work out, I don't lose weight. I have to do calorie deficit, because every time I worked out, I never lost weight. And I don't know why that is. It's all about diet for me. And if I exercise, my weight less.
But that's what
me.
I did. Yeah,
that's me.
Yeah, I work out, but I also do a calorie deficit, and I do the protein because of the GLP-1. That's what you need to do to prevent nausea, you know, be nauseous. And it's just what you need to do. But again,
I mean, a high protein, low carb diet is going to work for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way our genetics, that we're human beings. If you don't give yourself more carbs and protein, then your body's going to naturally know, hey, I've got more protein than carb. I've got less sugar. I need to go after my fat for energy.
Right.
And that's keto. But you don't have to go into a full-blown ketogenic diet in order to lose weight. You don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried that, I've gained it back. The only thing that,
of course,
for me is like, I was after having my second miscarriage, my weight was bad for a couple of years. And I didn't realize how bad until like I just had a moment where enough, because I was not mentally healthy. I did not cope with the loss of that baby. I did not take care of myself. My hormones were out of whack. And then one day, 5 years ago, enough. So I went to see a doctor, and I talked to the doctor about the miscarriages and about, you know, everything being wacky and whatever else. And I got put on a 800 calorie a day diet. I know. And, you know, I was taking the B12 shots. Is that what it is, Paula? B12? And I lost 40 pounds. And I've managed to mostly keep it off, but it does this. Then I had a medication change and I started to gain it back. And then, you know what I'm saying? It was like I meant for the most part kept it off. But
Yeah.
up until that, and I eat ice cream and stuff, whatever. But but before that, like I just like you were talking about being not well mentally, like when you're depressed. And I used to go into starvation when I was depressed, and somewhere along the way, eating was like a filler for me. I would be like, I can't wait till dinner. What am I going to have? I can't wait to have pasta. Let's get Olive Garden and breadsticks. Like, forget the salad, like stuff like that. But, everybody has their point where they're like enough. But I also like in conclusion with that, it doesn't make you a bad person if you're just not there. You have to be willing to change on your time. It can't be from somebody else saying you need to lose weight or you're too skinny or you're this, you're that. It sometimes you have to block out the noise. Stop looking at Instagram. Stop, like one of you said, I don't remember which one, but comparison. And that's what I used to do. Like I'd be like, oh my gosh, they look so good. And then here's, me. But I was wrong, just and I think also in conclusion, as women, so you have like your mean girls that aren't going to say anything nice to you no matter what. But in my opinion, if women would build each other up more, and like a compliment can change somebody's day. Like if I see somebody out in the store and I like their shoes, I tell them, or I really love your outfit. And they light up like, really? Oh my gosh, thank you. And you know what? And it could have changed that person's day just a little bit because you said something kind to them, because you said something that maybe, they weren't feeling great about themselves or whatever. And I think little tiny sprinkles of those kind of words of kindness can go a long way.
Good. They go a very long way.
I know I get excited when someone says, oh, like your hair looks good. I'm like, really? Oh my gosh, thank you. Like me? And I'm like, oh, I didn't really do much with it today, but thank you. But you know what I'm saying? Like little things like that. Like I saw a guy at the grocery store today and he had a Mickey Mouse bag and it was the coolest bag. And he walked away because I was just about to say, oh, I like your bag. Like I can't help myself because it's just, I know how it makes me feel if somebody says something kind and nice to me.
Absolutely.
And don't you think that the world just needs more of that?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yes.
People are so mean these days, and people, because of the internet, and I've spoke on this many times, it's not, I mean, what it originally is for and to keep in touch with people is great, but it's become a monster of, occupying people's time and making people feel less than, making people feel that they can gang up on somebody or make fun of somebody, and they can be keyboard commandos and say whatever they want, but you don't know how much you hurt that person by you calling them fat or calling them a slob.
And my thing is too, it's not just it's that it's so horrific. But you got to realize now companies are watching your social media and they will not tolerate any hatred, any, like shaming or any of that, because we've seen it firsthand. People, are losing their jobs or getting reprimanded, written
and
up.
they should,
No, that's what I'm saying. But you're an adult. You're an adult. Like, why is this so important for you to sit there and allow someone to say whatever they want on their Facebook? Let them get reprimanded. Let them feel the heat of it. But why you got to insert yourself? There's no reason for that.
No.
Because what's going to happen to you? You're the one who's going to get you're the one that's going to get hit more than that person.
Yep.
And you're the one that's going to feel the reap of it more than the other person. So that's why, like for me, I really changed my ways because of the profession that I'm in. And
where are you going?
I'm taking you over to my phone charger so I can plug my phone in.
Oh, I know. We're wrapping up, I swear. We went over a little bit.
I was like, it just popped up and said, you have 10%. I'm like, oh, crap.
Oh, yeah. But my thing is, then just like I was saying, my thing is that, you know, there's a time and place for it. And you know what? Just pause for a second. Like, if you don't like what somebody says, it's okay. Like, you know, then just, it's not on your page. Like, they didn't tag you in it. Just scroll through. And that's, Facebook lost the ability. Like, I'm on Facebook because of, you know, friends, because of family across the country, and things like that. But it is becoming so unbearable and just so toxic.
People are mean.
They're just mean and rude.
Frank is on Facebook to torture me with Michael Myers pictures.
Yeah, because
That's
I downloaded
my
app. I downloaded the app for him so he wouldn't take my phone. I think that was the worst thing I could have ever done.
Excellent. Thank you for that.
Because now through my Facebook, I see Italian, like New York pizza people making pizza, WWE,
Detroit Lions.
all like I mean you can do the
Michael
Lions
Myers
and all that, but I've seen all these like crazy like reels, which I don't care. It's all innocent and fun. Like, you know what? He's having fun. I don't care.
Yeah.
But you know,
he's not being hurtful.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what it's supposed to be like, and everybody is just like targeting. It's a target. Everybody's a target now, and I just won't
be that way.
Yeah, and I won't tolerate it. I won't tolerate it. You see my posts as, you know, about what we do, like vacations, family, my mom, you know, things, you know, and that's what it's supposed to be about, not the hatred.
I love what you said, though. We got to go in a second, but
sorry.
I love what you said about, and it took me a second to register, accountability, and how these days, you know, people are going to put vitriol and hatred and horrible things, which we've seen, that people are losing their jobs. And I think that it's about time for that, because people are showing you who they are.
Yeah.
You don't even have to look. And I know I'm not want to get into it, but in recent days, I have seen a lot of hatred from people that I thought were better than that I thought I was surprised. And it's hard to wrap your head around how people can take joy in somebody else's suffering. And I don't care who you are. So things have gotten nastier. It's not just about, Susan over there, you know, dresses like a slob and has a huge behind. I mean, it has gotten way past that. You know, we're not. I just threw a name out. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God. Or like, you know, her hair is from 1987.
On,
like, you know.
Oh, Susan.
Poor Susan. But you know what I mean? I was trying to pull a name out, and I'm like, what is going on? But she needs to come back so we can wrap up the show.
Yes. Where are you?
But yeah, so in conclusion, I just think if people were kinder and a little bit more uplifting, then it could make a huge difference to everybody, you know?
Well, we're going to keep spreading it, whether they receive it that way or not.
And if you're going to be snarky, because we're all snarky, you know, it can be to the person you're sitting in a room with. Like, you don't have to be so vocal about
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can agree to disagree. Everybody has their rights. Like, I don't care who you are, what you like, what you're for. I just want the best for you.
Yeah.
This
and be nice.
It should never define our relationship. It should just be the way.
We're trying to wrap up the show.
Sorry, Cooper was growling at something, and it kind of made me nervous because he never does that. But we're fine. We're fine.
Okay, so now that you're back, the show went way over. But I hope that you guys had a good time. Oh my God. Stay with me. Stay with
I'm a
me.
mess over here.
This is not
Professionalism. I need you to stay on the screen and don't drop the phone. Okay?
Yes,
Are we there?
Yes.
This is going to go on way too long if you don't let me wrap it up.
Wrap it up, then. Wrap it up.
Okay. All right. So, I hope you guys had a good time. I hope that
blast.
This was wonderful.
I love this. And I hope that our listeners love it too. Again, for those of you watching or listening at home, we love your feedback. You can email me, Michelle@themainstreetmouse.com. We love to hear from you. Questions, comments, show ideas, topics, whatever. Just send it to me because feedback is so crucial, because that way I know what direction to take this little show. Yep. So on that note, thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Paula. I love you guys so very much.
And love you.
I love you so much.
And doing this show, having you guys as guests fills my heart because it makes me feel a little closer to home. Aww. And I adore you. I thank you so much. And those of you listening, watching at home, I appreciate you very, very much as well. And until next time, have a wonderful, fantastic, magical week ahead. And I will see you real soon.
Love
Bye,
you.
everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.